Are you tired of listening to the same kind of comments about your child for not doing the homeworks? Because in this video, I am going to tell you 7 different types of homeworks that will make your child genius. I will share 7 unconventional types that will revolutionize the way you think about homework and the way you think about making your child right. This is Meena Imanur, book writing coach for children. And before we start on the 7 unconventional types of homeworks, let us try to understand why children don't like homeworks. Because whatever is written in the classroom, the same thing is to be written again in the homework books. Do you think it will be interesting for children to write? And the second one is making them write the same thing more number of times. This doesn't excite the child nor it challenges their intellect. They spend more time in doing the same homework, and because the time consumption is more, because of they getting distracted, they are not interested in doing the same kind of homework. Let me share 7 unconventional types of homeworks. Number 1, Daily Discovery Digest, DDD. Ask your children to write at least 5 important points that they remember on what they learnt. It can be maybe in a day, maybe they have been taught 2 or 3 new concepts in all the subjects together, one concept. So totally they may just have to spend 5 minutes. They just have to write 5 points. So this will help them to recall whatever they have learned. And there is a famous system wherein whatever is taught should be recalled within 24 hours by investing just 10 minutes. So this method will help when they recall and write those pointers. And the same thing, the 10-minute recall, if it is done within 7 days, the retention is for a longer period. So this is one unconventional way of doing the homework. Number 2 is where concept in action. Most of the time, whatever is taught, there is no connection between what they learn and the day-to-day life. But unless some connection is built, they don't correlate and they don't remember anything. So the best way is to make them recall the feelings or the situations or the emotions related to the same kind of concept. This reminds me of Sir C.V. Raman. He, being a Nobel laureate, used to go to government schools, and he would collect the wings of these flies that come during the rainy season. He would go pick all those wings of those flies, and then while teaching, he would teach the refraction of light with that. The commitment and a person going under the street light, collecting the wings and teaching the concept to students. Do you think children will forget the way it is taught with these tiny little wings? They don't forget. There is a connection that they start building. So anything, if it is connected with the story, with an emotion, with a feeling, they can remember it very well. Number 3 is creating mind maps. Since all the concepts, it is just, ask them whatever the concept that they've learned, ask them to create a mind map. This will help them to put all the ideas or the concepts that they've learned or the information that they have into a mind map, categorize them and bring it to a structure. This will help them to organize the entire concept that they have learnt. So I remember in my school, when I was working, children would learn a lot of concepts. Since I was into elementary Montessori group, I had to teach different concepts, and writing the same notes was very boring for them. When I asked them to create mind maps by giving them the ideas and demonstrating how to create, they enjoyed like anything. You know, the concept that they learnt in grade 2, grade 3, they are applying it even today in their 7th, 8th, and 9th standard, and they are practicing it. Any concept taught, they are quickly doing it in mind maps. So this will help them to organize. It is a wonderful tool to make it more interesting. Number 4 is Activity Execution Guide, AEG. Ask your children to make a list of steps to perform. It can be any activity. If it is something related to English topics, putting all the the entire story into sequence. If it is something related to science or experiments, putting them into the steps. If it is something related to food and all that, creation, making recipe, everything has a recipe. What are the ingredients or the materials that are required if you have to conduct an experiment? Also, they have to make a list of things that are required and then write the steps. So writing everything in step-by-step process. Of course, mathematics goes in a step-by-step format. So make children write them in the sequence steps. So this is another way where they enjoy doing it. Number 5 is comic book creation. Children love to create something visual, something to draw, something to color, something to write. So each child's learning style is different. So children, some of them definitely would love, and some of them, if they are very good at writing, they love to write fiction stories. Ask them to create something of that kind which children would love to do it. Number 6, create a new vocabulary or create crosswords. Ask children to do, they love to do it. Almost 20 years back, I still remember this child by name Abhishek Gupta and Vijay Bhatti Prolo. They came up with new words. They wanted to create words for Sanskrit. I was teaching Sanskrit. So what do we call for laptop? I said, I don't know, because there was no the technical term. He told very beautifully, lap means anka, top means upari. So I think we can call it as ankopari. I said, wow, that's something very, very interesting. And that is how they come up with their own ideas and they start creating. And I also used to ask them, the way to recall the words was made, I was asking them to create their own dictionaries, pictorial dictionaries, or the word dictionaries. They would love to do it. So this is another way to make them recall the vocabulary, and this is a different kind of homework which they would love to do it. 7th one is learn through questions. So any concept learned, a paragraph, ask them to create as many questions as possible on that topic, and ask them to give it as a test for his friend or her friend. They would love to do it. They want to make it as difficult as possible. Ask them to also have a key, answer key. So this helps them to go in depth about the concepts. So these are the different homeworks which can be tried. If you are a teacher, please try them. It really works magic, and I really enjoyed working with children with these kind of activities, these kind of unconventional homeworks. If you feel it is more interesting, please be in touch with me. Let us connect again. with more videos. Thank you.